Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
And what a weekend it was in and around the entire sports world. A lot of stuff overlapping, and we will get to it here on a Monday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show, right here on Action Sports Jacks. Terry Norvelle, we hope to have Patrick Young dialed up here soon. And, of course, today around 5 o'clock, we'll check in with our buddy Brent Beaird, talk some college basketball and football. A lot of stuff happening in the quote-unquote off-season. Really, there is no off-season now in college basketball or football with the portal. The draft obviously has wrapped up. We knew on Friday, obviously we went through the euphoria, which was the Jaguars' first pick, Travis Hunter. We've already discussed that. We'll get back to that. Some other angles to discuss. Travis Hunter coming over to the Jaguars in that blockbuster move. What about the rest of the draft? Where do you think the Jaguars fared? How do you think the Jaguars fared with the rest of the draft? We'll get your opinion if you'd like to drop some comments via our chat line. Feel free. We'll try to get to those as we go. Patrick Young, I'm sure, has a lot of opinions on the draft, Travis Hunter and post Travis Hunter. As we welcome Patrick. Pat, we discussed on Friday. Obviously, we knew the Travis Hunter situation, but the rest of the draft has played out. Yeah. I'll tease it a little bit. Some of the choices are a little perplexing to me. I'm not the Jaguars player personnel guy, but we'll get into that in a moment. Wow, did that draft will wear you out now? And I'm not a guy that sits there and watches every hour, but my God, those 3 days will wear you out.
Yeah, it seems like it takes forever, and especially since we're dealing with this crazy controversy with Shedeur Sanders.
Sure.
Man, what a weird thing. Like I remember that thing came out a few days before the draft about how badly he interviewed in certain ones, but
sure.
That must have really, really destroyed his somehow, man. Dude, it's
weird situation. Weird. So what did he? You ended up texting me over the weekend. I guess he went 5th round, which was. God, the days are running together. That was noonish on Saturday, I think it was. I'm trying to remember when the time frame was. Wow,
you couldn't have told me there was a belief that he was going out of the 2nd round latest.
Yeah,
going into it.
Yeah,
completely surprised.
What are your thoughts? And I'll give mine as well. And again, we kind of walked into it, and it. I mean, I don't want to disrespect Cam Ward at 1 of 1. I don't want to disrespect Travis Hunter at 2 of 1. But really, the overlaying story was the dropping of Shedeur Sanders. I mean, that dominated over the 3 days. What Patrick Young, what are your thoughts on why it happened? Should it be a huge surprise? And I'll give you mine after I hear your. Do you have thoughts on why this played out with Shedeur the way it did?
I just think it's so weird because it's like, he's Deion's son. Like, you can't be surprised that, and I don't think anything that he probably showed in these interviews are outside of how he presented himself through these on TV these last few years.
Good point.
And there's something, I do think he's a little flashy sometimes, but he's made, going back to the tape, a few things there. Some criticisms are definitely fair. In terms of performance, like, is his arm great? Is he consistently accurate? Like, because he makes some throws sometimes that you're just like, oh man, I think only like 3 guys in the NFL could make that throw. It just seemed like, maybe this is the best thing for him. I would say possibly because he definitely doesn't have to worry about starting right away, and he has this chip under his shoulder. But I gotta say, I'm completely surprised that he slid that far, especially when you see the guys that went before him. Tyler
Yeah.
Sloth from Louisville.
Yeah. By way of Oregon, yeah.
Jalen Milroe.
Jalen Milroe, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And, I mean, Dylan Gabriel. Actually, I don't hate that. I know he's a shorter guy, but I don't hate that pick.
Yeah.
I completely scratched my head with the Louisville guy.
Yeah.
Going for him.
And I hear all your points, and they're all valid. My thought, if you pulled me aside and put one of those interview lights on my head and said, Terry, why do you think Shedeur Sanders dropped as he did? I think there are a couple factors. Number one, I think truly the media played Shedeur higher than the actual NFL. I think one part of it was, I think a lot of the NFL did not have him a surefire first round pick. I think a lot of that was almost a created stuff. I think the media got in front of their skis a little bit. Deion's son, Travis Hunter, teammate, Deion's son. Sanders is as good at his position as Travis Hunter. I think the media got ahead of that a little bit. I don't think the NFL true player personnel power brokers had him top 5 first round. So I think that skewed everything. And then
what do you think? Mel Kiper, well, not on, and we'll talk about his rant later on, but him, in all his years of doing it, he said he just can't understand, that he would slide that far. I get, remember Laramie Tunsil?
Sure.
When that video came out on the day of the draft, and he definitely slid, but he slid I don't know, 7, 8, 10 spots.
Yeah.
Not that like that. Yeah. Goodness gracious. I mean,
I think Mel. I think what's his name? I think that got personal. I think he hitched his wagon to Sanders, and that was weird. But I think the first issue was the media. Not so much the NFL inside guys, player personnel, draft people, because I mean, we had a question on our show, Pat. Might have been Zach that asked us a week or so ago. He said, Terry, Patrick, if you had to choose that second or third quarterback off the board, would you choose Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders? I know I went Jackson Dart. I think Shedeur's a good, solid college guy. I think you went Jackson Dart as well, Patrick.
I might have. I don't know.
I think you
Jackson
did.
Dart. Well, Jackson Dart, he seems to be a guy that played in the best NFL style type offense, and knows under Lane Kiffin. So we're making that, and it was last year the Heisman level year that Jackson Dart thought. We kind of thought going into the season. No, it wasn't. It's not all on him. But in the right situation, I hope. Who was it? The Giants that took him?
I think it was the Giants. Yes, it was. I think so.
I don't think he's ready to start right away.
No. But I mean, the overriding point is, I think Shedeur is a good, solid college quarterback. I think he's got an average arm. I don't think he's crazy mobile. He tends to hold the ball. If you read a lot of the stuff from the NFL people, they say I think the media wanted.
He doesn't hold the ball as bad as Caleb Williams did.
Yeah.
I mean, he did hold it sometimes, but Caleb Williams, goodness gracious.
I think the media wanted Shedeur to be a first-round pick more than the NFL thought he was going to be even anywhere near. So I think that played in a little bit. Played in a little bit. Did his attitude help him? It didn't help him. Did it hurt him? I don't know. But it certainly, if the stuff we read was even kind of true, that doesn't help you at all,
Right.
Have you heard, I want to say, unless I've missed something, I want to tip my hat to Deion. I haven't seen Deion in front of a camera just going off yet, and I was worried about that. I thought Deion might be volatile, and at some point, Deion's got to get out of his son's fights.
I think Deion
He's
I
bit his
think he
tongue.
handled the whole situation as
Yeah.
gracefully as possible,
Yeah.
especially with. I mean, what a
Yeah.
cruel thing that boy did to Shador.
Yeah.
Cruel. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't get
Yeah.
drafted on my day. I could only imagine if somebody
Yeah.
called my phone trying to pose
Oh,
on a day that's supposed to be, one of your like one of those like memory happiest days of your career, whatever. And
unbelievable. Yeah.
someone to do that, like
Yes.
man, that coach, the dad, he has to be so ashamed
Mm.
that he did that his son did that.
Yeah, and again, I saw a great thing. Sometimes social media is good. I saw a great post ripping into this coach's son for doing the prank call to Shador, and they said, "Hey man, that 12-year-old kid should have his butt spanked." Oh, I'm sorry, he's 21 years old. Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't a 12. It was a 21-year-old. You're too old for that. Come on, kid. Come on. Come on,
without a
kid.
doubt.
Pat, have you had a chance? I'm a little perplexed on the rest of the Jaguars draft post Travis Hunter. Certainly, I understand Travis Hunter could be a special player. You take him, you roll the dice. I'm totally on a different wavelength than I guess the current Jaguar regime. I was stunned. Their second pick, which was a third-round pick, was a cornerback, not an offensive lineman. They did take an offensive lineman in the third round, and they took a center in the seventh round. I'm stunned that obviously the Jaguar brass right now, they think they're okay at the offensive line. I think they're not even close to being okay at the offensive line. I was stunned. They put more emphasis on running back and cornerback than offensive line. That's where I
Right.
totally differ with the Jaguars group in the draft. I was
Hopefully
stunned.
they don't make the same mistake and just think that the guys that they got are just going to be the same and
Yeah,
or just get look again, these guys need to get for the sake of Trevor Lawrence's career
yeah.
half a second better.
Good point.
Can they get half a second better in terms of giving Trevor a little bit more time, or even I think more so, and I do agree with the guy when we were talking about Ashton Genty being that potential pick. Um, I mean, gosh, Trevor, does he have like a consistent great running game? Like the line being able to, there's been so many design plays, and I'll give credit for the Jags attempting some things, but just not having the force you need on the offensive
I
line.
know. I
I
know.
mean, like if you look at Ohio State in the championship game, their entire I mean, first off, all those guys were monsters.
Yes, they
6'4",
were.
6'5", 6'6", all
Yeah.
300 pounds over. Like no one was getting through that line. They were getting whatever they wanted. I know it's hard to replicate something like that in the NFL,
Yeah.
but that should be like that should be the aim, without a doubt.
So you look at and I've got the what is it? Nine picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got the Jaguar 9 picks kind of scribbled down in front of me. Their first 2 picks, and depending on what you want to call Travis Hunter, they went cornerback. Their third pick was offensive line. Then they went running back, linebacker, safety, center, running back. They put, and by the way, if you're a running back named Etienne or Bigsby, man, you're shaky right now. They went out and drafted that. They told the world they don't like the running backs. they go draft 2 running backs. They draft, and I'm fine with taking a flyer on the 4th round and the 6th round on 2 linebackers, Kaiser and McLeod, Notre Dame and Auburn. I don't think the Jaguar linebackers are any good. I don't think I haven't thought Muma and Lloyd. Aluakon makes all the tackles, but I don't know if is he good or is the defensive interior bad? What do you think? They took 2 running backs. I think that is saying, man, we don't like any of the running backs in the running back room right now. Want to lose Pat? May have lost Pat. But the point there is they took a running back in the 4th round from Virginia Tech, Tootin, and they took a running back their last pick. Now, that's the last pick, more of a special team guy, but a running back by trade from Syracuse, Allen. Pat, did you hear my question there? Boy, if you are ETN or Bigsby, you're hoping you're renting, not buying right now, because it looks like the Jaguars don't value their running back room right now with the way they drafted running backs.
Well, what is this going to be year? Because
Yeah,
ETN misses his rookie
first
season because
year.
that leg
Yeah,
frank.
yeah.
So him and Tank Bigsby pretty much have played the same amount of years in the NFL.
Good point.
Uh, so what is it? Yeah, you can't really count that first
Yeah,
year. He didn't
good
play
point.
all.
Good point.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if ETN is and I hate to say it, if he's an option that teams might be interested in, you might trade him away and uh,
Yeah,
make Tank or one of these new guys your
yeah.
one, and maybe you can make a move. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
Maybe.
In terms of because somebody you're always going to have a need for a running back, and ETN, he's solid, he's okay. He's nowhere close to as amazing as he was in Clemson. It's hard in college
Isn't
to
it?
be that great. Oh, dude.
To
I mean, look at
translate it.
CJ Spiller was probably one of the greatest
College
college
guy.
era.
Yeah.
Percy Harvin.
Yeah.
Uh, gosh, what's the one guy's name? He was a receiver. He like Devon Best at West Virginia.
Yeah.
He would always jump in the end zone, like, and landed on his head quite a few times.
Yeah.
I'm serious. He did. He landed on it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He did land on his head
Oof.
quite a few times.
It's funny what
He
you
don't
just
play no
said.
more.
What you just said, it happens in all sports, but the NFL especially. I don't know why it always surprises me every year, but I'm a big college football guy. I watch a lot of college football, so I see a lot of these guys. I see a lot, and you'll see a running back. We'll stay with running back. You'll see a running back that in college he is cat quick, and he is straight line fast, and he runs away from people, and he cuts, and he jukes, and he jives, and he's so much. That's in college. When those guys get to the NFL, that 10, 12-yard run is a 2.5-yard run.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I know, man.
Those dudes are quick as you are. They are straight. It blows you away,
that
man.
just goes to show, Terry. Like, I know we had an outlier this year of a running back going higher up, but like, who's the guys that are typically quarterbacks, those
Yeah.
incredible defensive ends, uh, offensive tackles.
Yeah.
Like you got to have. There's only those guys that go first.
Yeah.
They're those types of generational talents that I say generational, but like they're going to be the ones in those positions that are once they get fit in and barring no injuries. Like
Yeah.
I believe, and it's really cool. Actually, on draft day, or rather drafts going, it has analytics
Yeah.
saying like different types of like the projection of what each player's career might look like from like a non-starter
Yeah.
to bench player to role player to
Yeah.
starter to pro bowler. And it for the defensive guys, I remember looking at that. The majority of them were like starter and pro bowler heavy.
Yeah. How about that? Hey, staying
Right?
with.
It's cool.
What about your sport? I mean, big time college basketball. Your sport, and you played perfect. You got paid to play basketball every single year. The NBA draft will come and go, and the new teams will make their cuts, and they'll keep their rosters. And I'll go through that college basketball cut list and go, damn, that guy was good at UCLA. Damn, that guy was good at Iowa. That guy didn't make the – it's amazing. I mean, but you're going to the top of the top, man. NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. It's the best of the best, man. and they find players all over the world. But, man, that college basketball offseason, you'll go, that dude dominated the Big Ten. He got cut? How did he get cut? You're like, whoa.
I know. I mean, you say I think we say it a lot with some quarterbacks. Like,
Yeah.
who was the guy that went undrafted? That quarterback. Can you believe Xavier Restrepo?
How about 200 catches at Miami? That guy's a playmaker, and he signed as a free agent. How about that?
Man.
He signed, and he went with Cam Ward. He went to Cam Ward's team.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Sure did.
Yeah, he went to Cam.
Now watch, man. You just hate. I'm super happy for Cam Ward. I just hate that he's in our division.
I know.
I want him to do well, but just not good against the Jags.
But how did Restrepo not get drafted? Man, all he did was make plays for 4 years.
Dude, you look at the film. Like, you can't tell me that guy's not a great football player. Like, that's crazy to me.
I know, and I guess he ran slow, but my God, all I know is
wasn't he? I think he was sick or something, and he still wanted to do it, and ran like a 4.6.
Yeah, God, I don't know, man. All I know is that guy made plays his entire career in the slot, and the slot is a big position in the NFL. I don't know.
Is it ever?
Sometime I think they might overanalyze. Sometime. There's not a machine, there's not a test for, is he just a damn football player?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they need a test that says this dude is a football player. Pat, we're coming up on our first break. We'll have Brent Beaird at the top of the hour. You sent a little clip that we all saw about the interview with Bill Belichick and his.
Oh, yeah.
I guess what was that? Good Morning America or one of those morning shows?
60 Minutes.
60 Minutes.
60 Minutes. You sent that clip. We all saw it.
He had a book. He's releasing a book.
Yeah, so he's doing a book tour. But, and I watched the interview, and I watched the entire, I think it was about an 8-minute interview. You sent the little clip. And Casey, do we have that? And actually, I know we're running a little bit late. Pat, you may be able to hear it. I've heard it. I may not be able to hear it. Let's play this part. It was kind of creepy. We'll talk about it after. Go ahead, Casey.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on, though Hudson has recently posted about it on Instagram.
You joined InstaFace, as you put it. I love that. There's some great pictures of you and Jordan, where you're a fisherman and she's a mermaid. It's charming. It's a different side of you. What's the reaction been like?
What's it been like?
To have these different sort of photos. There's another one where you're doing, I know you're not into meditation or yoga or Pilates. You're balancing Jordan on your feet, and she's doing kind of the Titanic pose.
Yeah, so I'm on some of those social media platforms, but I honestly don't follow them.
What he does follow isn't clicks or views, but touchdowns and, above all, wins.
You do seem like you're having a lot more fun these days than you were in other chapters of your life, let's say.
I enjoy football. I enjoy the whole process of it. It's hard to win, and it's hard to beat other good coaches, good teams. I appreciate the grind. I appreciate the competition. But coaching's fun, and honestly, I feel like I haven't worked a day in my life.
So there you have it, Patrick.
There you have it.
I want you to have at it first, my man.
No, I have something.
That thing.
Hold on.
That was creepy.
We actually are going to have
A guest?
A guest come in, hop in here.
Hello, guest.
Here we
Who
go.
is this? Who is this guest?
This is Benita Young, and I am quoting my maternal grandmother, Hannah Taylor.
Okay.
There is no fool like an old fool.
So, you're thinking 24-year-old Jennifer is going to get the best out of this deal, huh?
I mean, at this point, it looks like she's pulling the strings.
Hey, Patrick, hey, Bill Belichick, man, you're winning the second half of your life, man. Good for you. But number one, what about he's on a national established show with a holy sweatshirt on.
I know.
Patrick, take it away. You wanted us to play that. It's all yours right now. What
He
about?
didn't even wear he graduated from there.
How creepy was that?
From Navy.
I'm pretty sure Navy would give him the t-shirt.
You would think, right? Hey, on a scale of
someone from Navy is sending him some now.
how
All right,
creepy was that?
This is going to sound weird, and this is me as the person that is not psychologist, but just the way that he answered that question
Oh,
about like don't, and he can say, don't worry about, I'm not worried about everybody else. Like these things are like, she's introduced me to this and that. I know guys probably haven't seen this. He doesn't even seem to have the ability to like articulate that like that emotional kind of
I
side. And I
I
almost wonder if
know.
like
I
if he just has, I mean, that could be part of what makes him such a great coach.
But
maybe.
that's the way he talks about everything.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
But
Did
exactly, that's my point. I feel like maybe he might have some type of hormonal imbalance or something, or how he like. Cause look, we know Bill, like he's this always in the middle, kind of strange, doesn't really ever smile. Like
It looks like it's hurting him.
it looks like it
it
hurts him
really
when he
does.
smiles, man.
It
It looks
really
like it hurts him.
it really does. The first when I saw this, and I
Have you
saw
seen The Accountant?
no.
Oh man.
Yeah, very
The
No.
Account- yeah.
Very
Oh man, dude, you guys see it's got Ben Affleck, and then at The Accountant 2 just came out. If you watch it's on Netflix. Watch The Accountant, and I would say that's Bill Belichick. You'll
Wow.
you'll understand.
Wow.
You'll understand when it's a really good movie.
When
It's
when that interview hit a few days ago and I saw it, the first thing that came to mind was, and Pat, your mom will remember this. I don't know if you will. Anna Nicole Smith.
oh yeah, I remember her.
And,
I remember. I was young.
And remember, she fell in love with an 89-year-old billionaire. She fell in love with an 89. Oh, it was awkward. What do you guys think? Number one, there is a creepy factor. It's just a
Yes.
creepy factor, and I'm fine if you're truly number two. I wish the interviewer would have said, Bill, are you can you look over at your girlfriend Jennifer and just say I love you? I don't know if he can say I love you, but how creepy was it when they wouldn't dare talk about how they met? That lets your imagination run wild. And was it at a strip club?
Make up a story.
Was it on a?
Like, we just want to
something.
keep it between
Something.
us.
Yes.
Yeah, it just makes you think it.
Was it a strip club? Was it OnlyFans? Was it? I mean, you just.
Yes.
I mean, not that you have to share everything, but obviously, about the third question down, if you take a Hall of Fame 74-year-old football coach and a beautiful 24-year-old girl, whatever the age difference is there, obviously, about the third question down, how did y'all meet? What? You've got to. And Pat, I think you said it a minute ago. Even if you and the girl lie about a story, you got to have a story, right? You got to have something.
Look, dude, it's literally the first question you ask anybody like that's in a relationship. Like, you got to have your story. And I think it's so funny that
Yes.
couples that have been together and said the story a million times, they still argue over the same little details.
Yes.
You know?
And again, the creep factor creeps in. Obviously, people, unless you nip it in the bud, the first thing you're going to go is, well, she's not only young enough to be your daughter, she could probably be your granddaughter.
No, she probably could.
So you got to kind of tell us.
49 years.
I mean, even if she was a 19-year-old cheerleader on the last team you coached, just say we didn't date, but we knew each other and we ran into each other 5 years later or something, right? You can't hide it because that makes it seem more tawdry, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
Well,
Gosh, man, it's such an opportunity. And I think you say this all the time, but in different situations. Of like, man, they missed an opportunity to like.
Oh.
He really missed an opportunity, I think, to brighten up his image. Not that he has a bad image, he who Bill Belichick is, but like,
Yeah.
that's the moment for him to say, I went through a tough divorce or something,
Yeah.
and I was in a tough place, and she helped me find happiness again. I don't care what the details are, but
Yeah.
it's the fact that you put that human side of you out because I mean, Bill is like, but again, going back to it, I don't know if he actually can.
I know. Now, before we go to break, and before people out there are probably thinking and wondering, well, Terry, they don't need to tell anybody how they met. They can. Well, I will agree to a point. Once you go on 60 frickin' minutes, okay, obviously you want some publicity. It's not like you're trying to keep it inside. So once you step on, this show called 60 freaking minutes, then you kind of owe it to play. You can't have just one side of the fence. You want the publicity. You want to show off your girlfriend. You want to show off your relationship. Okay, then you're on 60 minutes. Don't play the privacy card. You're on 60 minutes, right? Yeah. I don't know, Patrick. I don't know. Hey, Pat, hang tight. Let's come back. We'll get some more Jaguar draft talk. I want to look at Sports Illustrated, what they graded the Jags. And Dane Brugler, a lot of people respect him. He ranked all 32 straight down. No formulas, just what he thought each franchise did. If you went 1 all the way to 32. By the way, he had Cleveland number 2, and Cleveland worked the trade with the Jaguars. That and a whole lot more. Brent Beaird comes up at 5 o'clock. Stay with us, folks. It's a Monday edition. Off and running, the Young and Norvelle show right here on Action Sports Jax.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
PY hanging out with us. Patrick Young, I'm Terry Norvelle. Glad you are with us on a Monday as we look over the St. Johns River there. Good overhead view of downtown Jax Vegas. Welcome to a Monday edition. We'll have a fun rest of the show. About 5 o'clock, Brent Beaird will join us. We've got a bunch of topics to get to. Patrick, before we move on a little bit to some of this Dane Brugler, Jaguar SI, draft grade, things like that, a buddy of mine who is on the show a lot, I will not name him until he wants to be named, okay? But a buddy of mine just texted me who comes on this show a lot as an expert, and he's very learned in his sport. He texted me a moment ago, and he said, I'm good friends with a bunch of NFL scouts that work for teams that did not have Shedeur Sanders even on their draft board.
Oh, wow.
That kind of gets back to where I think part of this narrative that's fueling the fire of Shedeur dropping so far, I think the media had him way higher than the teams had him.
That's what it sounds like.
That's just my point. I've heard that a lot over the last couple of days. Dane Brugler, you've heard that name. He's pretty much one of these expert draft guys, and he came out now that the draft is over, and he ranked 1 through 32. He said nothing scientific, just he's in it. He's got great sources. He did 1 million mock drafts. He ranked the teams after the draft was completed. He had New England number 1. He loved Will Campbell, the offensive tackle, running back Henderson from Ohio State, some of the high picks. The center from Georgia went 3rd. So he had New England 1. I thought it was interesting. He had Cleveland, the Browns, the team that the Jaguars made a trade with and gave away a lot of. He had the Browns number 2. Mason Graham went 5. Linebacker from UCLA, running back from Ohio State, Judkins. Patrick, he had the Jaguars at 17.
Okay.
And I thought that was interesting. Right now, it seems like the national media is so fixated on the trade and Travis Hunter that, Jaguars. Well, he kind of said his listing is backing off and looking at totalitarian, the total draft for everybody. He had them at 17. I also thought it was interesting. He had the Titans at number 8, but he had Houston and Indy below the Jaguars. Houston at 24 and Indy at 27. I don't think I liked Indy's draft. I don't think they had a lot of choices. But
right.
17, what are your thoughts? I know I'm throwing this on you.
I thought it was a little bit higher than that, but I guess, Travis Hunter's a big piece of that, but what are the questions that still safety, cornerbacks,
offensive line,
linebackers, offensive line, interior line still. That I don't know who's the interior. Is it going to be Eric Armstead or is it Trayvon? It's going to be more D tackle than D end.
Yeah, good.
I think Trayvon's probably going to still stay D end, and Eric Armstead, he's fine.
Yeah, definitely. I also thought it was interesting. Sports Illustrated did their team by team grade. They gave the Jaguars a B-, which is I don't know, is that closer to C or is that closer to B? But B-, B- in total. The Jag draft. Hey Pat, just in case we lose you in hour number 2, we'll have Brent coming on. NBA thought.
Okay.
Are the Lakers are down 3-1, 1-3?
I know.
If they die, and this is round 1, right?
This is round 1.
If they die here in round 1, is that the end of LeBron?
Tough call. Still looks good, man. But you can start seeing he does have some moments where, not where he looks old, not like that, where he's just turn the ball over, being a little careless, and just not seeming like he's as fully engaged as he's been in the past. So I don't think it's the end, but Anthony Edwards, I think he had 42 last night.
Boy, he's got fresh legs. He got young legs,
Yeah.
man.
Well,
young
you gotta remember, I
legs.
mean, Luka kicked his butt last year. So
Yeah.
he had 46.
Yeah.
Oh, if it's 46, well, Luka kicked his butt last year, so he was definitely motivated. And then you got Julius Randle. He played for the Lakers and didn't have a good. I think he got drafted by the Lakers, and he wants nothing more than to knock them out.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I thought I was listening this morning, kind of prepping the show, and had some national radio on. I thought a guy made a good point about the Lakers. Boy, the games they lose, all of a sudden Luka looks fat and slow again, doesn't he? Doesn't he? He looks like fat, slow Luka when they lose. And I know that's probably not fair, but you just wonder. LeBron, you probably want to do it until you can't do it anymore, but man, there's a lot of miles on that odometer. Is he about ready? And Patrick, do the Lakers, if they get bumped in round one, what do they have at their disposal to try and improve?
I think LeBron has probably played close to 2 seasons of postseason games.
I bet you're right, man.
Somewhere close, like it's
Wow.
probably a season and a half.
Wow.
He's got a lot of miles. Like, you can't tell me he don't take nothing, man.
I don't know.
That man is taking something. He's gonna take some HGH.
Something.
And he's gonna come out and he's gonna win one more championship.
But
and hopefully he'll finally just let go of his beef with Stephen A. Smith, who's never. I'm not a huge. I like Stephen A. Smith up to a point. He just gets a little too much with the antics, but
I'm with you.
He's been completely objective and fair in his. And he's saying, LeBron, you're number 2, all time ever.
Take it.
All time.
Run
ever.
with it. Run with it.
Yeah, man. Are you seriously going to be insulted that I just don't think you're better than Michael Jordan?
If I want to put you in LeBron's headspace. If you're LeBron, they get bounced either first round or very early. They get bounced. If he does say he wants to come back one more year, at least another year, if you're LeBron James, you're not coming back just to play 82 more games, right? You're coming back to win a title. Well, does that mean he forces a trade to somebody title worthy? Or do the Lakers have any collateral to get better? Because if he just comes back to the Lakers,
a 2-year extension, and he's going to be making like 53 or 54 million next year. So
that'll bring you back, I guess. That'll bring you back, right? 50-something million. But he wants to try to go out with a title. Can the Lakers do anything? I mean, who do they? You got to give to get in a trade. I don't know. It's a funny. My God, I'm not a big NBA guy, so I don't follow it as deep as everybody that is an NBA guy. But I have nothing against LeBron. But my God, I'm tired of LeBron. He's been around for feels like 100 years, doesn't it? I don't know. Maybe because he's maybe it's because he's the face of the. He's the face of the NBA. But my goodness, you look at Anthony Edwards, and what do we say?
Well, look, speaking of, and like they compare Anthony Edwards to MJ with the way he moves and stuff. How ironic is that?
Yeah. But boy, he's there. You can't fake Anthony Edwards is 23 or whatever he is, and those legs are young and fresh. And oh boy. They're going to get knocked out in round 1, right? They're not coming back from 1-3 down,
It's
are
looking
they?
like it, man.
Yeah.
And what was tough? The starters played the entire second half.
I know. What about that?
That is kind of crazy.
How does that happen? And your 2 of your starters aren't. Luka's not 40, but he's not a spring chicken. And LeBron is LeBron. Hey, maybe they need to put Bronny in. Maybe Bronny can save him.
Put
Bronny in.
I'm not going to say they're like the deepest team, but they have other legs that can provide these guys to get that. That is so crazy to me that JJ played those guys straight through. That is kind of weird.
Oof.
Like they weren't. If they were fighting, if it was game, like if the whole series was on the line, I would get it, maybe.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you live fight another day. You put all that. Like, are these guys going to be fresh enough for the next one?
How much longer does I'm looking at some NBA stuff here. Draymond Green, does he go any longer? Is this his last postseason? How much longer can that cat play? God almighty. Draymond. Oh.
Right? Doesn't he look so? But look, man. Hey, he's state. They're turning back the clock.
Yeah.
It seems like if they and Steph is playing so well without Jimmy Butler, and
Yeah.
that big trade that they made. I wonder if does Jimmy Butler stay there if Steph is gone, like when Steph decides to retire.
Yeah, I tell you, you mentioned Stephon Curry over the weekend. Just kind of watching some highlights in sports centers and stuff like that. They were showing his game, and they were showing Steph Curry. Patrick, he is such a good shooter, as everybody knows. They were showing highlights of Steph Curry, and I swear some of his outside shots from 28 feet. A lot of them look like he's just throwing them up, but they go right in the basket. You're like, how does it go in the basket from that far? How does he shoot?
I'm more impressed with how he gets to the basket sometimes.
True.
And how he finishes, like he times it up, and he has such great soft touch.
Yeah.
NBA basketball, doesn't it just seem so much faster? Sometimes, not all the time. Like they go up and down
do.
It's not slow, but like certain moments when those guys like Steph decide to go, man, they're a blur.
And that 24-second clock is perfect in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
It pushes them just enough, but what gets me is the way the game. When I watch NBA, almost all the teams, and help me if I'm describing this wrong, almost all the NBA teams run the same offense. Four high with the ball handler. If the ball handler can make a break to the basket and beat his guy, he'll go. But it's four high. The NBA is like 5 individual games going on at one time on the court. 5 one-on-one games. And they all know how to play basketball.
Yeah.
They know spacing and passing, and that they all have that internal clock, man. It's amazing. You know how short 24 seconds is compared to the college game?
Oh yeah.
But man, they rarely have shot clock. Yeah, but they get down, they cross half court, pass, something happens. Right? Pass, something happens.
Don't you think it's so dumb that it's not mandatory in high school basketball? Like the top level has this standard.
Yeah.
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 Like I remember in high school playing against those dirty Mandarin Mustangs.
Oh, those filthy Mustangs.
Those filthy Mustangs, man. The final score of the game was like 7-12.
They held the ball.
What a waste of time.
Yeah.
How is that helping and make anybody better?
College
basketball.
College basketball
fans. Like it's so and I've been I was listening to this book last night when I couldn't sleep. Heard a really cool story going back to basketball.
Yeah.
Rick Pitino played at Boston University.
Okay.
And do you know who knocked them out of the tournament?
When he was a player.
When he was a player.
North Carolina.
No.
Who?
You wouldn't guess the school, but it was Fordham.
Okay, and how do they do it?
Coached by Digger Phelps.
Who went to Notre Dame? Who went to Notre Dame?
You know what this book is talking about? It's so interesting that Fordham, their team was not like they should have gotten killed.
Yeah,
should have gotten killed. And this coach. Let me go back. Let me take a step back. It's on the high school. It's on the high school level.
Okay.
High school level. His girls were not very good. They weren't very good offensively. So what was their advantage? What do most high school teams do, Terry? They press because they knew they had no chance if they let this opposing team just walk the ball up the court and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And what's so ironic, they would end up staying in games and whatnot, wins games they weren't supposed to. He's like, the irony of it is that if the other team would have decided to press, they would have killed us. Because he's like, our girls couldn't handle the ball, and they didn't do it.
But nobody did
and
it.
And went to wonder why don't we see in college basketball consistently? Sometimes you see the press only being utilized when you're trying to come back.
Yes.
Instead of making it, especially with the shot clock, if you can get teams to have to run, their offense is a full 30 seconds, you get one shot. I mean, they're going to be worn out.
Funny you said that, and you referenced Rick Pitino, because some of his great teams at Kentucky and Louisville,
exactly.
They were Rick Pitino came around at the same time in the SEC as Nolan Richardson, who Arkansas and Kentucky had the same team. They both
40
minutes of hell. And 94 feet of hell. I love when college teams press, not like you said, not to come back, but to bury you. I love when they
bury you.
They try
to disrupt you from finding any flow.
Yeah, you got to have the right team and the right athletes to do that. But hell, you remember Todd Golden
against South Carolina.
Against South Carolina,
that game.
They're about to get beat, and he said, "Let me put a little 3/4 court press, see if it can change the tempo of the game." And he did.
Can you believe that Michie Johnson is back at South Carolina?
No, he went back. I did not know that. Wow, shame he left.
At Ohio State.
Shame he left.
1 year at South Carolina. 1 year at Ohio State. 1 year at
How about that?
South Carolina.
And they needed him last year. South Carolina had no ball handlers. They had no ball handlers. Pat, as we come up on the top of the hour break, you probably don't remember. Your dad and your mom remember, I guarantee you. There was a long period in college basketball with no shot clock. And the four corners, you would have the great Dean
North Carolina.
Yeah, the great Dean Smith cut his teeth with Phil Ford, and they'd hold the ball, and it was
exciting.
It was terrible. It was
terrible.
You would have the opening tip, and a guy would get it, and they dribble around 4 or 5 minutes, maybe finally take a shot. If they beat their guy all the way to the basket, they'd take a layup. And there was a long time. College basketball, it was putrid. And the TV guys finally said, we can't televise this. We can't have North Carolina and Virginia playing an ACC game and the final score is 18-16. You just can't have that, Yeah. And they instituted a shot clock, and they've messed around with it a little bit. Where's it at now? 30? Is it 30 in college, I think?
30 seconds, yep.
Yeah, it was 40 at one point, which is too long. But boy, the NBA's clock is perfect. That 24, that NBA game, love it or not, it moves, man. Like you said a minute ago, Pat, it moves.
Yeah.
It really does.
It does. Yeah, especially, it just helps. That's why, but that's why I think NBA play sometimes, especially in the regular season, drops off, because they know you get so many possessions.
Yeah.
That, and they play so many games. Like it's a lot of these guys make a good amount of money, but it's not easy to bring your A game when we push these guys so much.
Hey, I'm going to speak out of turn here, and you may have a thought on this, Pat. It comes up this time of year every year, and I'm not an expert on either of these sports, but it's always I've always been curious, why does the NBA and the NHL, their playoffs overlap each other?
I know.
Both of them are in the first round, and they're going to play off for the next month and a half. I don't, and they may not have the exact same fan, but there's only so much time on ESPN or on your local news, I've always wondered why one of those doesn't kind of move a little bit. I don't know.
Good question.
Well, and you say that. That is probably why I am the level of hockey fan that I am.
What?
Talk about it. Like I honestly, like younger to have been, looking at it now, like I don't have a team. I don't like go out. I look a little bit now. I like if a hockey game's on, I keep up with the Icemen. And by the way, Terry, the poor Icemen.
They got waxed again.
Dude. 4 straight overtime losses.
I know. They cannot beat the Florida Everblades no matter what.
It breaks my heart for Andy Kaufman, because he's such a great dude and wants his team to get a shot so bad.
I know. Say that again, though. They lost 4 games. Say that again, Pat. It's unbelievable. They got eliminated.
It's like being as the first round or a best of 7 series, and you lose 4 games, and they're all tight. And every game you lose by a buzzer beater. Every game you lost by a walk off.
Yeah.
Every game you lost by in overtime in football, the first team scored a touchdown, and they won because they got the coin toss.
4 overtime games in a row.
4 overtime
games to end your season. That is rough. I do know this much about hockey, NHL. The Tampa team and the Florida team are playing right now, and it is a hot first round. I understand that, man. They are going at it, man. Tampa and Florida, they don't like the Panthers and the Lightning. They don't like each other.
No, not at all.
And they drew each other in the first round, right? I think it's 2-1 Florida, but I think Florida won 2 games on Tampa ice, which is big. Ooh. I don't know why they play on the same time as the NBA playoffs and vice versa, though.
Right. I don't know.
I don't know why they didn't ask me though. They didn't ask me at all. All right, Pat. We'll take a break here. We'll bring
Brent Beaird.
Brent Beaird coming in. Is he relieving you? Can Brent?
No, I'm talking to Brent Beaird for sure.
Okay, sounds good.
He's not relieving me.
Yeah, Patrick Young's not.
I got to be on when Brent Beard's on.
Brent will stay in the bullpen, but we'll put a mic in the bullpen. Patrick Young, he's staying on the mound. He's got another inning in him at least. We'll keep Patrick on the mound at least one more inning, unless the leadoff guy gets on, Pat. Then you got to come out. Leadoff guy gets on, you're out, buddy. We got to win this game.
Pinch run.
Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. All right, let's take a break. 1 hour down, 1 to go. Brent Beaird joining us next right here.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Okay, back we are here on a Monday. A lot of stuff. Boy, they call this the off season. I don't know about that, man. A lot of stuff overlapping. Good time of year. We'll have another big major golf tournament coming up in May. You've got obviously baseball. You've got we just wrapped up the draft. Mini camps will start. We just wrapped up.
Hey, look at that hat, Terry.
Hey, how about that? You like it?
Yeah.
See it?
Look
Spurrier.
at that shirt. Little Mark Lowry action.
And a little golf shirt here and a Spurrier
golf repair. Okay.
Golf visor here and got it going.
Can I be honest, Terry?
Yeah, go ahead.
I wish our show was at Sliders every day.
Every day? That was fun, wasn't it, the other day? That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you know what? I know that the official party wasn't at Sliders. It was at Lemon Bar for the Jaguar draft. But, man, that was a fun vibe, wasn't it? Man, the Jaguar fans stirring around down at the beach Thursday. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was no way I was going to go out there.
No.
It was cool when actually, even draft day last year at the stadium.
Yeah.
I fortunately was in the West Gallagher. And then you could see they had so much stuff on the field, dude. It looked like a zoo. It looked like a zoo out there on the field. So I can only imagine what Lemon Bar would have looked like.
Yeah, it must.
Would have wanted to. Thank goodness we had the show so we could get our parking spots early.
No doubt, man. I know I got down there even earlier than normal just to make sure I got a spot in the back of Sliders because you know people were gonna illegally park and say, to hell with a ticket. I'll pay a ticket.
Yeah, right. That's the number, right? Yeah.
They'll pay a $12 ticket or whatever. Well, speaking of the draft, and I think we'll have Brent Beaird on here in a moment.
There he is.
There's Brent. Hey, guys, speaking of the draft, hey, what about the monstrosity that the NFL has turned the draft into? Did you guys see that? It's every year. The crowd, and
oh my God.
And they don't let up for 3 days. Brent, what about? I mean, that if you rated sports events in our country, the draft as an entity by itself would be way up there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be, guys. Good to be with both of you.
Hey, buddy.
It was, it was bigger than the football game, frankly. I mean, you had 120,000 people in Green Bay. I mean, that I'll tell you what, you can imagine what that does for their economy.
Yeah,
up in a town like Green Bay, but it was. What they've done with it now and making it a 3-day event. Now, look, it's mind numbing.
It really is.
The day 3, but I get the excitement because of it, and I get why these cities bid to be able to get it.
Absolutely. Is that, and Pat, you may know this, Brent, you may know it, is that just a first come, first serve? Do you buy a ticket? Do you reserve a ticket? Do they just let who? I don't know. Is it, that crowd? I don't know, Pat. I don't know if you have any insight on that either. I don't know if you just kind of
on how you get in. On how you get in?
Is it
a ticket? Tickets for it? I
Is
mean, you gate off for 120,000 people.
Man.
Dude,
I mean, that thing looks like when they.
Any part of my life, I would have enjoyed being in a crowd of that many people.
Ooh, I mean, it looks like some of those massive European music festivals, right? Where there's just like 200. And Patrick makes a good point. I've always those huge festivals like the old Woodstock and all. You know, they have all these festivals, particularly in Europe, music, and there'll be 300,000 people in the field, right?
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do if you got to go to the bathroom? Do you? And then how do you come back and find your party? I mean, my God.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, how soon do they run out of food and drink in a situation like that? I don't know. But I mean, there's no telling how many people ESPN has involved in that, for that matter.
Gosh,
I'm sure it's hundreds.
I mean, have you seen the stage alone? Looks like one of those massive. I mean, the stage alone for the NFL draft is just. It looks like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones combined on a tour. You're like,
yeah. I tell you, besides games, think about this a minute. For it really makes you wonder what could college football and basketball do to get a atmosphere like that beyond the game. I think that's something they ought to think about one day.
Yeah, it's and you know, Brent, you and I have always wrestled with right now. This is that perfect time that college football needs something. I don't know what it is. College football, to stay on the peripheral at least, needs something. That would last 2 weeks right now, just to keep you in, to get us to 4th of July, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you've got the magazines coming out in a month, but that's not, that won't keep you in for 2 weeks.
No.
I mean, you've got media days in July. But to your point, and that's a good one.
There's just a little void. The spring games were what, guys, a week ago Saturday or so. There's this little void. I don't know if it could be if the portal was a big deal one day or one weekend. But Brent, Patrick has already weighed in. I've weighed in on the total Jaguar draft. Certainly the bombastic move they made at number 2. And Travis Hunter is a unbelievable athlete. He's going to be a great player. Have you given much thought on the total Jaguar draft? I was a little surprised that they didn't seem to really prioritize O-line. They must think they've got O-linemen, and they went more cornerback and running back. Stunned me that they didn't go more line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. Frankly, I mean, they got some brand names, or not brand names. They got some brand teams.
Yeah, sure.
You know, Colorado, Tulane, West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame. I mean, whoever's from that Notre Dame defense is going to be good.
Yeah.
Jalen McLeod from Auburn's a pretty good pick. But, you know, when you get above, 3rd round, I mean, it's a real crapshoot, frankly, at that point. I mean, but you're right about that. I mean, Pat, Terry and I have been talking, well, you have too, for the last several weeks. They've still got to do some of this offensive line. Terry, no way in the world you can convince us that this line is ready to go right now, is it?
But Patrick, what else can they do? The draft is coming on, the trading deadline, and free agency.
Terry loves when you know you and I have to say something like this. Terry, you were right.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Terry, you were right.
Oh,
2 years ago.
Okay.
When you made the statement that you know, this is the Jags are like either we're insane, or they're doing something that that we just aren't smart enough to grasp.
Yeah.
Because that PFF rating for the Jaguars in all of the 7, they didn't have a single category of those top 7 spots where they rated in the top 10.
Yeah, I remember that. That was
And
shocking.
The O-line and the D-line, I believe, they were 30, 31, or 32.
I remember that. That was shocking, man.
What's convincing enough to say that it's going to be even better? Like, how do you? There's no way you go from being number 30 to top 5.
So guys, you're telling me that inside the Jaguar war room, that they decided the current line that they have only needs a little help at the 89th pick, offensive lineman, and the 3rd round, and the 221st pick, center, in the 7th round. Other than that, they're. By the way, that group
Tony Baselli being a left tackle, he should be like, come on, man.
Well, did he? Maybe he got voted down. That to me, that tells me, because you heard Baselli, particularly when he got the position, he was doing his media tour saying, "Hey, man, I think we got to build within the offensive line out. You got to build line of scrimmage out." So that tells me either A, Tony doesn't have any pull right now, he's brand new at his job, or B, he got voted down, right? He got voted down. But Brent, I'm stunned that they almost prioritized shaping the running back room or reshaping the linebackers as much or more than the offensive line, which I think's been terrible.
Doesn't it look, again, it really doesn't matter who you've got at the skill positions if your quarterback's on the ground all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
That they really should have drafted no less than 3 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Now that wouldn't have been sexy, and that would not have been probably pleasing everybody. But look, anybody who's a Jaguar fan's got to understand, until that line gets better, they're not going to be holes for the running backs, and Trevor Lawrence is going to be running for his life again. So that's a real mystery at this point.
It's a head scratcher. Patrick and Brent, boy, the big boys flex their muscle in the NFL draft. The SEC led the way conference-wise, 79 selections.
Yeah.
The Big Ten was second with 71, and then a meteoric drop-off. ACC 42, Big 12 31. You can basically, ACC and Big 12 barely hit the Big Ten's numbers. Again, man, all this stuff plays into, I think, Brent, the SEC and the Big Ten, when they go to the negotiating board, they say, hey, man, you better give us what we want, because we are not far away from just walking away from this mess and doing our own gig.
You can see it, and look, they've got the ammunition to do it. And the people they're going to most of all is going to be TV. They go to television and say, look, I mean, we've got, you can look at this. We've got 71 players from the SEC. We've got 42 from the Big Ten. I mean, my stars, that's quite a discrepancy just between as you said, between the SEC and the Big Ten at that point. Now, Ohio State had the most with 14. Georgia had 13, but then you've got Texas, Ole Miss, Alabama, Florida.
Oregon's in there with 10.
Yeah, absolutely. So
how about that top 4 guys? Ohio State 14, Georgia 13 draft selections. Oregon, Texas 12, Oregon 10. Oh, by the way, that's almost your Final Four in college football last year. Hey, give me the best players and I'll take my chances. I know coaching is important, but give me the best players, guys. I'll take my chances.
Players? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. How about those numbers, man? Very impressive. Brent, I saw one of your notes. Some people may have heard this, and the guy really doesn't command much press time, but we're going to do it because it's funny, actually. Jaden Rashada will now resurface now at Sacramento State.
Yes.
Man.
This guy has gone from almost verbally committing to Miami, kind of committing and signing with Florida, and an NIL deal may or may not have been verbalized. Goes to what? Arizona State, plays a little bit.
Yes.
Leaves there and goes to Georgia. Patrick, he's heading to Sacramento State, who's about to move into Division I football. They don't even have a D1. How about that trip for this guy?
I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Gosh, I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Is it? I'm sure he definitely has some fault to blame, but his circle, man, they just completely misguided this kid.
And Brent, I think in your notes it said this about 2 weeks ago. His lawsuit against the University of Florida is still active. I saw where a judge kind of said, "Yeah, we'll talk about it, take some time off, and we'll get it." But it's still active. The best I can tell is the argument is he's saying Florida promised me $13 million to sign NIL right when it was just opening up. Florida, the best I can tell, Florida is saying you were negotiating with a thing called the Florida whatever, but they were saying they were affiliated with us. They weren't affiliated with us. I think that's the rub.
That suit comes up next summer, I believe.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Rashad and his people would be smart if they made that just either go away.
Yeah.
Or pray that they win.
Yeah, pray they win. But I think that's the
only way he's getting any money.
Yeah, but I think that's the rub. Rashad is saying, "Hey, we wanted to go to Florida. They reneged. We didn't get a dime. They promised us 13." I think Florida's football stance is that group you were talking, they might have been fancying themselves, but they weren't part of us. I think that's the angle that this thing's going to take.
Look, people thought when this guy came out, and he was a top 50 recruit in 23, that this guy was going to be Tom Brady. And look, we're not exaggerating here. People were falling all over themselves with this guy for whatever reason. I mean, he was. He's a 206th overall player and the number 17 quarterback in the 24/7 sports rankings in the portal. Tell you what, if you're the 206th quarterback, it's going to be a while before people get to you. So he better be happy you landed somewhere.
Interesting. Guys, let's the rest of this segment, let's turn it to a little bit of baseball, college baseball. My goodness, I watched a lot of the game, and then I followed it when I had to leave the house yesterday. The Florida Gators had a massive baseball win yesterday over Arkansas. That won the series. That won the series 2-1. And don't look now. Florida's playing good baseball right now, man.
No.
Hey, that is a really good Arkansas team. They took 2 of 3 from in Gainesville.
Were they number one?
They were they've been in the top 5 all year. They've been highly ranked. And I watched a lot of that series. Arkansas's good. I mean, they are national title good. That was a gutty. Florida was trailing 5-1 early, and it looked like they were buried. And that was a grinded out big win for the Gators, wasn't it, Brent?
It was a tremendous win for the Gators. Tell you another thing that goes on, what that's helping Florida right now is the fact that Tennessee is slipping a little bit. Tennessee actually has lost a couple of series as of late.
Yeah.
Well, that frankly may be opening the door a little bit for them. So that's pretty that's impressive. Now, Tennessee is 12th. Arkansas is 11 in the top 25.
That just came out, I think, right?
Yeah, it did.
That's factoring this weekend because Tennessee lost a series and Arkansas obviously lost a series.
Yeah.
So but those two have been in the top 5 all year, but they're scuffling a little bit now.
They really are. Texas is number 1.
What a weekend.
37-5. Good gracious alive.
Yeah, they're having it.
Now I give Florida State some credit, guys. Florida State's 33-10.
Yeah.
They're number 5.
And I tell you guys, I think let's go back to Florida. They're now 8-13 in conference play. 8 wins, 13 losses. Mm-hmm. The history says the SEC has never sent a team that's won 12 or less. So the history says you need to get to 13 conference wins. Okay? Florida's sitting at 8 and 13. So they need 8, 9, 10, 11, 5 more conference wins. They have 3 series left. They are at South Carolina coming up this weekend. South Carolina's not great this year. Florida almost needs to go get 2 of 3 minimum.
Yeah.
Florida then goes to Austin. That's going to be tough. They're at Texas. Texas is 19-2 in conference play. They've run roughshod. And then Florida closes. They've got 9 conference games left to get 5 wins, most people think. They close with Alabama at home. Bama's been 15th in the country-ish.
Yes.
So they're good. They're good. Florida really needs to go 5-4 minimum in the last 9 to get up to 13. Some people think they could be the first ever, though, with 12 wins in conference because of their RPI to get in. But if you get to 13, you're getting in. Brent, South Carolina, Texas, Alabama, their final 3 series.
Well, baseball has an RPI like everybody else does.
Sure.
I think the Young and Norvelle show has an RPI. So
we do.
Probably.
We do.
Now, Florida's 19. That's got to help them.
Yeah.
This is pretty amusing, frankly. Your top, here's your RPI. Texas, in order, Texas, Georgia, Vandy, Auburn, Arkansas, Florida State.
How about that? Now, going back to Florida State. In a weird way, guys, I think Florida and Florida State are strange bedfellows. I think the Gators, the best thing that could happen to Florida is get an at-large bid, because it's hard to win that tournament to get in the SEC. You need get an at-large bid, and then obviously Florida's not going to host this year. They don't have the record to host. They're not going to be a host school. The best thing for Florida is to get an at-large bid and get sent to Tallahassee.
You're right.
Hey, not that FSU's not good, but that's an hour and 45-minute bus ride. Florida will have, if they play in Tallahassee, even if they play FSU once or twice, the Gators will have 2,000 fans in that.
Yeah, sure.
And they know they can beat FSU. They beat them 2 out of 3 times.
Yeah.
Now that could happen, because keep in mind, the NCAA in baseball, all your minor sports, the NCAA pays for travel. I don't know if y'all know that. So the NCAA, a lot of times when they can, they are geographically conscious because they pay for travel, because you don't want to punish a team. Let's say JU makes the regionals. JU doesn't have a huge budget, but they're Division I. You don't want to send JU to UCLA and JU has to spend $60,000 and they go upside down to have a good year. The NCAA pays travel, so they tend to keep schools kind of geographically close. Florida could, I think, benefit, A, getting in, and B, getting sent to Tallahassee. Crazy as that sounds.
Yeah, a couple of things here on travel. To Terry's point, look, there were, and this probably changed with NIL, but the one entity that football players can make more money. Well, and I'm curious about basketball too, Pat. But for football players, there's some football players made several $1,000s on their per diem travel for bowl games. They made a lot of money off of that. My second thing I wanted to mention is what we just mentioned here: Texas, Georgia, Vandy, Auburn, Arkansas, Florida State, North Carolina, Clemson, LSU, and Tennessee. I'm curious, guys, from the top RPI top 15, how many of those teams, I wonder, would get a chance to host?
Of how many SEC?
Let's just say of the top 15 in the RPI.
God,
it's mainly SEC and ACC.
Yeah, and there are 16 sites. So what happens in baseball? 16 4-team sites are scattered around the country. You got to believe, and it's been this way for a while, the SEC is going to get a good 6 or 7.
Sure.
And the ACC will get a good 5 or 6.
Right.
And then some smidgens. But, yeah, there are 16 sites. 16 times 4 is your field.
Now, see, you've got UC Irvine, Oregon State, Coastal Carolina, West Virginia, and TCU. Now, that goes to that's 15. That's 15 for what we just said.
Yeah.
So they'll want to spread it around, right, guys?
Yeah. There'll be a couple on the West Coast.
Yes.
Oregon State's a power. Cal Irvine may get one. Yeah. Oregon State. But no, the majority, I bet you 11 of them will be SEC, ACC, and maybe five others scattered. And it should be that way. It should be.
Agree.
Best baseball's played right here. But yeah, Florida, they still got some work to do. This season is really mirroring, and Pat, you may remember this. Florida went to the Final Four in Omaha. They were the last four standing, and they had I want to say the Gators were like 36-30. They scuffled just like this. But you got to get in the tournament. Hey, you can't win it unless you're in it. Can't win it unless you're in it.
Because they needed to win 2 out of 3 in that series against Georgia, and their bats were just on fire.
Remember that?
Yeah, and they lost because they ended up they lost the first game in the SEC tournament, and they were out, and they still that was the key. They hit it at the right time.
They hit it. Yes, they did. They did. It's a fun time. Boy, I still marvel at Texas. Texas is having the type of year that Tennessee had the last 2 or 3 years. Remember, Tennessee had a year, and they didn't win it. They got beat by somebody, but Tennessee was like 56-5. Some gaudy record going into postseason, and they got knocked out in the either regionals or super regionals. Texas loaded.
Yeah. Texas will easily be in the top 5 probably in the All Sports Trophy.
Now, I think Texas did lose one of their starting pitchers for the year, though. I think they had an ugly. By the way, they swept Texas A&M all one-run games, and remember, Schlossnagle is now at Texas from A&M. So that had to be a real sweet win for the Longhorns over the weekend. Guys, let's take a break, come back. We'll wrap one final segment up. I want to talk a little bit about the Braves, Paul Skeens, and a couple more different nuggets. Brent Beaird, I think you've got a nugget. Yeah, and the Gators picked up a big defensive lineman in the portal.
We sure did. Jerry, I want to say a couple of minutes about Mel Kiper when we come back, too.
Okay, we'll do that. It got ugly. Patrick, I don't know if you saw Mel Kiper's comments live. It was weird TV. We'll talk about that on the other side. Patrick Young, Brent Beaird, Terry Norvelle, and you on the other side.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
It's a pretty much understood statement that most of us will make our largest transaction either buying or selling a home. Certainly something that big, you need to go in to a transaction like that with the best representation you can. In our area, when it comes to buying or selling a home, you cannot go wrong with Norvelle Realty. They know the areas. They know what you're looking for. They have relationships with all the lenders. And you don't want to make a mistake on this size of a purchase. It could be life-changing for the bad when it comes to your finances. Make sure you go in with the best in the business. Norvelle Realty, I've known Lee Norvelle and his operation for a long time. They've been doing it in our area since 1986. Contact Norvelle Realty. If you are in the market to buy or sell, or think you're about to get in the market to buy or sell a home in our area, go with the best, Norvelle Realty. They can be reached at 904-388-4400, 904-388-4400, Norvelle Realty. We've got Brent Beaird. Pat, I think, had to take off. Brent, you mentioned you wanted to get to, I know what you want to talk about, a very awkward exchange over the weekend with regard to the NFL draft. Mel Kiper kind of lost his cool. I think we've all been there before. He got in front of his skis a little bit, let his emotions take over about Shedeur Sanders, a discussion. I guess the 3 particulars were Mel Kiper, Louis Riddick, and Reese Davis, who I thought were much more subdued and controlled, but that was an awkward, tough watch, that little exchange. Pick it up from there and give us your thoughts on what we watched.
Kiper really needs to get this in perspective, Terry, because, I mean, look, Mel really started the interest in the draft.
Sure did.
I mean, you could give him credit because he was kind of the foundation for television with that. Okay. And look, he needs to relax in what's going on. Terry, I think there were, I'm curious what you thought about this too. There are a couple of things happened there. Number one is Mel still wants to be relevant.
I agree.
And they're bringing in all these analytic guys who've got all these numbers. Mel still does it the old-fashioned way. I mean, I'm being facetious, but you get it. I mean, he may be doing it on an abacus or a calculator.
And I know what you're saying there. I know you're.
But But the reality is, what that was telling me was, and I'm curious if you picked up on this too, I bet you did. He was screaming, look, I kind of got this going. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm still the relevant guy here, but he couldn't relax in any of that. Terry, that wouldn't have healed the die on, was it?
No.
With Sonora Sanders, I mean, he was, Terry, literally, I mean, he got madder and madder and madder as the days went on. I think what happened there was, he just simply got out of control because he wanted that to happen so bad, and it never did. But look, Terry, you can't, and Pat, you can't bite the hand that feeds you. Being the NFL, I mean, what he was saying was, look, I know more about these quarterbacks than these. Than the war room in these NFL teams.
And that was a terrible thing for him to say. Pat, did you see that exchange that was awkward between Mel Kiper, Louis Riddick? Yeah. What were your thoughts? It was hard to watch, wasn't it?
It was hard to watch. Yeah, it was a little cringy.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know what was up with that. And I'm not even a person that says cringy, but it was. Yeah, I think Reese, our buddy Reese Davis, he answered very well.
And I thought Louis Riddick was really cool too. I thought Davis and Riddick really kept their cool and kept it conversational. And you know, I think we've all I've lost it on air. I mean,
I don't disagree with him saying that NFL teams get it wrong when it comes to quarterback, but like everyone, no one's batting 1,000.
Yeah,
there's no it's part of what just comes. Like he just say I think they're wrong about this guy, and he's going to prove it.
Yeah,
that's all I got to say.
Well said, Patrick. You know? I don't know if you heard Brent's dissertation. I don't want to speak for Brent, but I think Brent also. Brent, I think you hit something very astute. Mel was kind of the godfather of this. I mean, Mel Kiper, people pick at him. I've always respected him. It's fun to pick.
I've always enjoyed him.
It's fun to pick at his hair and blah 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 over the years. But I mean, to me, over the years I've followed it, he knows as much as anybody. But Brent said it, Pat, real well. I thought a moment ago. Mel knows he's on the backside of his career in this industry, the draft industry. He's the godfather. And he sees the 28-year-old, the 32-year-old, the 40-year-old up-and-comer guys that are starting to get the call more and more. And I think he looked out the window and saw the pasture and said, "Damn it, I still got a fastball, and I'm going to show it." And his choice, like Patrick said, his choice. Man, he basically, you can't call out the entire NFL and say, I know the quarterback position better than the NFL does. That was a tough statement.
No, and I'm going to use a Patrick Young inspirational quote here. What Mel did was Mel forgot who he was. Mel forgot his identity.
Yeah.
And he forgot what took him as far as he did in his life. And he just got, these folks, if he had not said this, and I understand if he wanted to make a strong statement about, look, this is kind of my guy. I told you about him in the beginning.
Yeah.
I still think, but he kind of forgot he forgot his identity and got it mixed up at that point. The thing that Reese did that I thought was really smart, and Terry alluded to this, Reese turned the intensity down from a 4 to about a 2.
Yeah.
And what he did was Reese came out and said, look, it's over now. They can't draft him in the top number 1 round here.
Yeah.
It's up to him. It's up to Sanders. The ball's in his court.
Yeah.
And he is the one who's got to get it done at this point. So that's all we're going to look at. I thought that was a master class in diffusing the situation.
And I thought Lewis Riddick stayed cool too. I
He
thought,
did.
Lewis
did.
is an old player, and he's still young enough. He's still in shape. It would have been easy for him to pounce. And I thought Lewis Riddick was very conversational still. He was forceful, but I thought Reese Davis and Riddick, their approach to the disagreement made Mel look worse, because every time they cut back to Mel, you could see more veins and more bulging eyes. Mel probably would have been really, and I get it, the heat of the moment, but it could have been later in the broadcast. I don't remember if that was Friday or Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Later in the broadcast, and it's hard for us to say this. I've said it a bunch, though. Hey, guys, I was wrong. I might have been wrong.
Yeah. Hey, Terry, I want to ask Pat. Pat.
Yeah.
You saw it. You've heard what we've said a few minutes ago. What would you? I'm curious. With your insight, what would you say? What would you tell Mel Kiper if he was sitting in front of you right now?
Oh, did we lose Pat? We may have lost Pat. Uh-oh.
Well, hold that.
Brent, you said something, it's a good phrase. Mel, what was that worth dying on the hill for?
No, it wasn't.
And here's another shame. I've always thought that, and I think we did lose Pat, I've always thought Mel Kiper's good at what he does. And he was the first, and it's easy to pick at him. Unfortunately, the poke fun at Mel crowd.
Sorry about that, guys. It's just
that's okay.
Pat, I don't know if you heard Brent. If you were advising Mel, and Brent, go ahead and ask him again, Brent.
Yeah, Pat. If you had Mel Kiper in front of you right now, what would you tell him?
Oh man.
After that incident,
Man, what would I tell him? Gosh. It just was such a bad look and so unprofessional, man.
Yeah, and maybe, Mel, you don't have to be the smartest guy in the room on every single.
Yeah,
I mean, Mel, you're going to talk about 200 players over the next 3 days. You don't have to hit a home. Nobody expects you to hit a home run on every player, Mel. Every player.
I just now think about him saying that about coaches, all team. Like, how would those teams? Oh, so you're saying I don't know how to do my job? All right, I'm not telling you anything.
And what a shame. I hope that doesn't keep him from getting his phone call answered next go around. But some of these teams, hey Einstein, you know it all. Click. What I was going to bring up too. Not the detractors of Mel, but he can be fun to poke fun at. He had the helmet hair for years and a little bit of a funny voice but I think he knows his blankety blank. I've always respected him, but he's had one soundbite that has followed him around.
Yes,
and now he's going to have a second one. The first one that has followed him around was who was it? Bill Polian, the longtime general manager of the Colts way back in the day. Very, very high respected football guy, and he got asked about something about Kiper way back. And a player, and he said, "Who the hell's Mel Kiper?" Right? Yeah. Basically, Well, that has been his negative. He just added a second negative soundbite. They'll grab that, and particularly if Shador flames out and never makes it. Wouldn't you say so?
You made a good point, and this is kind of a PR thing here, and I'm curious what Pat thinks about this too. If I was, in saying could Mel come out? It doesn't have to be 3 pages. Just send out a tweet and say, "Look, guys, I love all my ESPN brethren. I respect what the NFL does. I got carried away the other day. I still think Shador Sanders is going to be a really good quarterback, but we'll look forward to next year's draft." I mean, it doesn't have to be a long extended thing. Would you two guys do that?
I probably would. Pat, your thoughts if you were the PR guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably would say, hey,
I don't think Mel is kind of like, he didn't evolve throughout these years, it seems like.
Yeah.
The same persona.
Hey, guys, I want to get to a quick headline that I just saw on ESPN. I think it's interesting, and it will be a massive talking point probably. It's from the world of Major League Baseball. Headline, MLB to rule on request to end Pete Rose ban after Trump meeting. Real quick, this is off the ESPN page. Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred said he discussed Pete Rose with President Donald Trump at a meeting 2 weeks ago. And he said he plans to rule on a request to end the sport's permanent ban of the career hits leader who died in September. Speaking Monday at a meeting at the Associated Press sports editors, Manfred said he and Trump discussed several issues, including concerns over how immigration policies, blah, 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 blah. So real world stuff. But, boy, if that will be a passionate, no matter what side you're on, the Pete Rose lifetime ban, baseball, all-time hit leader, that will be obviously, I think Manfred now in a couple weeks has to come out and say something. Either we're putting him in or we're upholding it. That's going to be a lightning rod talking point, don't you guys think?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Listen, I've always thought they ought to put him in. I think what you do on the field is the number one thing. I think enough time has passed. He is, when he was alive, he served his term during that point. And what Major League Baseball could come out and say is, we are not in favor of betting on your own team, but this has served notice. He deserves to be in the Hall because of what he did. That's I don't know if they'll come up with that, and they would think about even doing that. But
Pat, do you have any feelings on that?
Not really.
Yeah, I do, and I lean toward Brent, and I don't know if this is a good analogy, but
I don't feel like I know enough to say he should or shouldn't. Like I don't think Barry Bonds should have the home run record.
I've always been pretty true to what I believe. Obviously, my thought is kind of what Brent said. I'm putting him in the Hall of Fame with his on-field stuff.
Yes.
Most people that I've talked to on or off air, just chit-chatting with buddies or out in public, that are totally against Pete Rose, they, I think, get caught up on the lifetime ban. Lifetime means lifetime. I caution people that say that because here's my analogy. We pardon at times, if we think it's right, hardened criminals.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, hardened criminals get pardoned and they get knocked down and they get retried and they a lifetime in prison may get knocked down to 40. Right? We pardon hardened criminals. This is baseball, guys. I mean, it's not like so. That's kind of my stance, but that's going to be a hell of a talking point. Have you guys? Did you guys? I thought there were a couple weird
because he really cheated his way into hitting all those balls.
4,200 and whatever.
Man, what a scheme!
Yeah, definitely. I thought some interesting stuff over the weekend in Major League Baseball. Did you see? It was way back Friday night. The Pirates aren't very good, but my man Paul Skeens, they were in Los Angeles. He stuck it up the Dodgers. You know what? Hey, Friday night the Pirates got 6 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 9 strikeouts, no earned runs in a shutout Pirate win, and he didn't walk anybody. That's the only way the Pirates can win. I feel for my man.
It is.
I feel for my man. And did you see the Braves game? The Braves beat the Diamondbacks on Saturday, even though the Diamondbacks had one player hit 4 home runs. How does that happen?
Oh, yeah.
They had a 4 home run player, only the 19th time ever, and the Braves somehow won the damn game.
8-7, by the way.
Yeah.
Terry, didn't Bob Horner hit 4 in one game too?
He's one of the guys. It's happened 19 times.
Lost.
Bob, hey, Patrick, imagine after the game, obviously these young guys, a lot of them aren't married. They probably go out to have a steak dinner. How does that guy Suarez, his name was, for the Diamondbacks, how is his night? He wants to go out and buy everybody around. I hit 4 home runs, yeah, but they lost. They lost, so you don't want to look like that guy, you know. But hey, did you hear?
You got to worry about that as much in the pros as you have like if that was happening in college or high school. But you know, those MLB guys, they make their mind up. They're going to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But you know, you don't want to be in New York doing all that. You know, you can't do that. Can't do it out there.
No doubt. But man, Brent, you want to go out that night, and even if you run into some fans or you run into a couple players, go out with you, and you want to stand up and go, "Drinks on me! I hit 4 home runs, but you lost the game."
Now, Terry, remind me. Reggie Jackson, was that 3 or 4 that he hit in that playoff game?
It was ungodly. If I remember right, Jackson. Yankees, Dodgers.
Yes.
Yankee Stadium. Jackson hit in a World Series game. Yes. Three consecutive home runs on 3 straight pitches.
Yeah. Did he hit 4 in the whole game, or was
I don't think 4. He went 3 on 3 consecutive pitches.
Yeah.
The second, the 5th, and the 7th inning. Yeah.
Hey, have y'all seen the videotape on Lagway throwing today?
No. Talk about it. I heard
it just came out.
DJ Lagway, yeah.
Yeah, DJ Lagway is. Now look, he's not throwing fastballs here, but he is in what looks like the indoor practice facility.
Okay, I see it now.
Yeah. You see it, Pat. Yeah. Now he's not putting a lot of zip on the ball, but he is.
One throw. Man, they give us more than one throw. God.
Yeah. So there's not a whole lot of sample size here, but I mean, he throws what is it, Pat? 25-yard pass, maybe something
about
like
20 yard pass, maybe.
Yeah.
I hope all that goes under the bridge, water under the bridge. Really? But I don't think Florida handled that real well. No. I don't think. I mean, we are in such a time now. Any sport above high school is such a mega big business.
Really
there's no more of this. You can't. They're just college play. You got to let college football, the University of Florida fan base, know what's going on with your star player.
Absolutely.
I think they fumbled. I hope it just goes under the bridge.
Yes.
But man, I think they fumbled that. Speaking of Florida, big defensive lineman from the portal over the weekend, Brendan Bett. By way of Baylor, interior defensive lineman, 6'5", 300. Supposed to be a pretty mobile, big-bodied guy, Brent. Do you know much about this guy? Sounds like a pretty good pickup.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's 6'5", 300.
Big dude inside.
Yeah, from Baylor. I mean, you can always use guys like that. I think that's important with that. Defensive tackle. 3 years of eligibility, redshirted is already 10 games, 1 start, 9 tackles. So he's very inexperienced, but if you're 6'5", 300, they can use you somewhere.
Good start. And guys, you probably remember, Pat, you remember Caleb Banks, the big guy, number 88 for Florida, big guy in the middle. His last 5, and he came back. He was contemplating the NFL. He came back. He's back at Florida. Caleb Banks.
I don't remember.
88. His last 5 games, the proverbial light came on. He was a terror on the interior of the defensive line at Florida. They've got a lot of outside guys, but this kid next to him might be a nice gap to plug in, 6'5", 300. But Banks, Brent, you remember him, 88? He came on at the end of the year like gangbusters.
He sure did. And listen, I'm going to ask Pat this before I forget it. Baker Mazar from Auburn going to Southern Cal?
Oh, I didn't know it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, with, Pat, is that good, bad, or different?
Musselman?
Musselman's out there. That's right.
Yeah.
The old Arkansas guy. So he'll go up and down the court. Hey, what are your thoughts on Baker Mazar? You covered him a lot in SEC Network, Pat. The Auburn guy, Baker Mazar.
I don't know, man. Like, you don't know what you're going to get from him.
You really don't.
I wonder how much money he got to go out there. You always wonder that. That's so crazy. I mean, good for him. He's going to be in a completely different league, and last hurrah.
And Musselman is what got Calipari to Arkansas, right? Musselman left, and he started turning Arkansas around.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes the Andy Edenfield. Remember him? He was the USC guy, and he left. I think he went to SMU. And then that opened up Arkansas for Calipari. But Baker Mazar, hell of an athlete, but you got to keep him reined in.
Look, I was about to say that with that wild streak in him, is LA where he needs to be?
Yes. Ay. I still marvel, and we only got a minute left, guys. We'll get out of here. I still marvel at Andy Edenfield. He parlayed Florida Gulf Coast into. Yes. I bet you he was at USC 10 years. He and his wife they booked it out in Los Angeles, baby, for 10 damn years. Made a lot of money.
Yeah, sure did. Made a lot of money.
And then he came back. Now he's getting some of that oil money in SMU. A lot less pressure, probably, basketball at SMU. Probably. All right, gentlemen, super job as always. Appreciate your help. Brent, good stuff as always. And, of course, Mr. Patrick Young, a good Monday to kick off the week. We'll get back together tomorrow for the next edition of the Young and Norvelle Show right here on Action Sports Jacks. Please join us tomorrow, 4 to 6. I know for a fact we're going to talk some more baseball. We'll have probably Trenton Torsia, our buddy baseball guy, maybe looking at some high school baseball in our area as the playoffs are underway. And we're scheduled to visit with our buddy from Sports Illustrated, Kate Kistner, talking some heavy-duty baseball as MLB is coming up on the quarter pole. They're getting close to 40 games. What do we know? What are we still trying to figure out in Major League Baseball? That and a whole lot more come up on the Tuesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen. for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143-2.